What's happening, educators? It's your man, Mike Mundy. And just in case you forgot, I'm here to convey effective, with a capital E, behavior management techniques. Today's session tackles peer pressure. This lesson focuses on the use of what I call personal power in order to combat peer pressure and to foster leadership skills. At some point, everyone encounters peer pressure. How we deal with it plays a significant role in determining our life's trajectory. During the lesson, make sure your students clearly understand that peer pressure could lead to that one bad decision that ruins their life. The name of the lesson is personal power. This is how I do it. Today I'm going to teach you how to deal with peer pressure. Peer pressure is when a friend and or associate encourages you to do something that you know is wrong. Now, we all know that it only takes one bad decision, just one, to change, ruin, or end our lives. With that in mind, we need to avoid individuals who encourage us to make bad decisions. If you're unable to avoid them, then you gotta face them and put them in their place. You can overcome peer pressure by using your personal power. Having personal power means that you're a leader, not a follower. It means that you think before you act. Lastly, having personal power means that you make decisions that keep you in control and out of trouble. From this day forward, I want you to use your personal power to battle peer pressure. Personal power consists of 5 simple steps. Now everybody pay attention and turn your memory banks on, because we all know the plan won't work if you don't work it. And you can't work it if you don't know it. So turn on your memory banks and memorize these 5 simple steps to personal power. Step 1, ask questions. Find out what the deal is. Step 2, label the trouble. Now the activity has a name. Step 3, state the consequences associated with the behavior, because we all know it's all about choices, decisions, and consequences. Step 4, suggest possible alternatives. And step 5, leave the door open. I'll explain that momentarily. Personal power. This is how it works. Pretend you're hanging with a friend who's up to no good. They continually suggest activities that will lead to trouble. This is the perfect opportunity for you to use your personal power. First and foremost, let your friend know to stop pressing you, because you don't follow behind brothers. You think for yourself. You do your own thing. If your friend persists and they continue to pressure you, then collect information by asking questions. And that's step 1 of personal power. Ask questions. That way, you'll know exactly what they're trying to do. After that, use the information that you gathered during step 1 to label the trouble. And that's step 2. Now the activity has a name. For example, that's stealing, and that's trouble. That's vandalism, and that's trouble. And or that's bullying, and that's trouble. Believe it or not, some of your associates might not realize that what they're suggesting is wrong. Either that or they just don't care. With that in mind, proceed to step 3 of your personal power and discuss the consequences associated with the activity. If the consequences don't faze them and they persist in their desire to do the deed, then move to step 4 and suggest possible alternatives. If after all of that, they still don't want to listen to reason, they'll go on to step 5 of your personal power and leave the door open. Simply put, end the encounter by telling your friend that you like to hang with people who make good decisions. And also let them know that you'll still be around when and if they get it together. Next, I demonstrate the use of personal power to the class by sharing a very simple skit. Although it's simple, it's appropriate because it's very easy to use these steps. The skit consists of 2 characters, Pat, who's providing the peer pressure, and Fred, who's using his personal power. Check it out. Pressure from Pat. Here's Pat. Hey, I have something really fun for us to do. Come on. Fred. What are we going to do? Fred's asking questions. That's step 1. Pat responds. We're going to spray paint the back of the school. I've got 2 cans of paint. One for me and one for you. Fred responds. That's vandalism and that's trouble. Fred is naming the trouble. Pat doesn't care. Stop being a chicken. We won't get caught. It'll be a lot of fun. Fred's not having it. We could get suspended from school. We could even get arrested. He stated the consequences to Pat. Pat doesn't care. Pat continues. You worry too much. I thought you were cool. Come on, help me paint the school. Pat stays strong. And Fred responds. I've got an idea. Let's get some big paper and paint on that. We can hang it anywhere we want. Or we could just go play basketball. Fred's suggesting alternatives. Pat keeps at it. We can play ball any day. If you don't help, you're a punk. That doesn't faze Fred. Whatever. I'm going to play basketball. If you want to play, I'll be at the court. He's leaving and leaving the door open. Pat's response is this. Wait a minute. I don't want to do this alone. I guess I'll come with you. Fred says, let's go. Now that's a very simple skit, but it illustrates the very simple steps associated with personal power. After sharing the skit, I list the steps of personal power on the blackboard, and then I challenge students to role play one-on-one against me. I provide the peer pressure, and they use their personal power to overcome it. Trust and believe. These lessons are tried and true. Empower your students. And by the way, if you're wondering about my attire, it's summertime and I just got off the basketball court. When I'm in between those lines, everybody calls me South Beach because I'm always hot. Trust and believe that. You see the memorabilia. Anyway, if you have any questions about my fast break counseling curriculum, hit me up at michael.mundy, M-U-N-D-Y, at pgcps.org. 10-4. Over and out.